Hey guys, welcome back to What Next? And this week we're going with a brand one coming out this last week on Amazon Prime Original, Balls Up. Now, if you guys haven't seen this one again, do yourself a favor and go ahead and watch this one. Personally, I loved how it was a good story, yet it didn't make sense, but I didn't dig too deep into it just yet, but then I realized that it is a Farrelly Brothers movie. Excuse me, I'm going to correct myself here. Now, it's directed by Peter Farrelly. Now, if you know the Farrelly Brothers movies, they've made some classics throughout the years that were hilarious. However, storylines were the storylines. So, that's what you get with Balls Up on this one. Again, we're not doing movie reviews, but I loved how much this story was so random the way it was going that, I laughed through the whole thing just because it was so random. But again, to each their own. So please do yourself a favor and watch it. But for those of us who have watched it, or if you've watched it and come back, let's jump into it. So on this one, there's not a huge cast to begin with. I think the cast is probably all of 10 people maybe. So at the end, we see Brad and Elijah. Now they're living off in Argentina. We see they're kind of Argentina heroes at this point, because they helped them essentially win the World Cup, which is huge over there. Soccer is huge all over the world. So they settle in Argentina. Last we see them, they're in the park, they're playing, and there's a huge statue of essentially them blocking the shot that won Argentina the World Cup. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, well, not that this one needs a sequel. I don't think you really need a sequel on this one at all. This is kind of a funny one-off one, in my opinion. But I am thinking, what is next for Brad and Elijah? Now, they kind of regroup at the end. You see they're regrouping with Miss Burgess, and they get essentially the Balls Up condom back up and running. Now, I don't know if that essentially ran back up the company they were with. I believe it was Bluebird something, if I remember correctly. But that condom did become the official condom of Argentina. So I'm guessing that their business took off. Financially, they're fine. Now they're living in Argentina, where essentially they're safe from the rest of the world. But I'm like, okay, so what did happen with the Balls Up thing? Like, so clearly they're the face and the name of this new condom. They're also huge heroes in Argentina now. They can walk around. Everybody knows them. Everybody loves them. But what happens with them, especially with Balls Up? Like, do they take off with the company? Does the company restart? Do they become, millionaires, billionaires? Like, who knows? Like, I don't know how much that could have, had them in sales for the condom company over there. Because essentially, I'm assuming the condoms get sold worldwide going from there. And also, too, what happens with Elijah and Brad? Like, they kind of make it seem like Brad was going to maybe have something with Antonia, but they didn't really give too much of that at the end. The scene at the end where they're playing soccer with the kids, I wasn't sure if that was showing some time had gone by and it was them playing with their kids, or were they just playing in a park with random kids because, like I said, they're heroes in the country of Argentina now. So I was just kind of like, all right, well, what happens with these two? Like, do they meet girls? Do they marry? Do they settle down? Literally what happens with them after this? Clearly the Balls Up company's up and running, but what happens with you guys essentially? Is there any major blowback from the situations in this? It sounds like the president of Brazil kind of let them go. He said, I'll let you free, just kind of essentially, like, don't come back, otherwise he was going to put him in jail for a year. So I'm not sure if that was something that could actually happen because, I've never ran onto a field for a soccer game, so I don't know how big in trouble you could get for that. But especially being there in a different country, they got to play by that country's rules. So if they want to put him in jail for a year for obstruction on one of their soccer stadiums, they probably could. So I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I got on this one. Like I said, the cast is very small. Benjamin Bratt shows up in there as let me see really quick here, Senor Santos. I thought that was a little weird. He kind of left Brazil too at the end, but I guess he really liked Brad and Elijah to where he wanted to go start over in Argentina, essentially, because he does say he loses his wife, his kids, his house. So, I guess that's something too. Like it doesn't. I don't know how much it bothers him that he lost his wife and his kids and his house in Brazil. So he goes and starts over in Argentina. So it's like, is he trying to? Does he have visitation with his kids? Does he try? I'm guessing he doesn't try to work things out with his wife, because at the end you see him dancing with a lady over there, which could have been his wife. I don't know. We never get to meet his wife throughout the movie, so I'm not sure who that was. It could have been his wife. Maybe they got back together. I don't know. That could be kind of like a side story as to what would happen next for Senor Santos there. But that's all I got on this one. If you guys give me this, or give this one a watch. Let me know what you guys thought. It definitely has that Farrelly Brothers feel. I know it was just Peter Farrelly directing this one. Not sure if he was the writer on this one. Let me see if I can check that really quick here. Nope, wasn't a writer, just the directors. But again, they have these people around them, so it definitely had that 90s, early 2000s Farrelly Brother movie feel, in my opinion. Like, I've seen pretty much all the Farrelly Brothers movies, and it definitely had that same vibe to it. That's why when I got halfway through the movie and I'm thinking, all right, who's the director here? Because this feels familiar. I saw it was Peter Farrelly, and I'm like, that makes sense. It makes sense why the story's going the way it's going, because it's essentially a Farrelly Brother movie. But again, I liked it. I would watch it again. Hopefully you guys have seen it by now. If not, again, do yourself a favor. Go ahead and watch it by now. Tell who you want about it. It's a fun comedy. It's that it makes no sense, fun type of comedy that I like personally. But if you guys have any other comments or questions that you think could have happened with Brad and Elijah on this one, put them down in the comments below. But again, as always, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.